In 2015, Here Be Dragons sang Monday's Not a Fun Day, Recovery from Sunday. Well, boys, you know, however bad it was, I'm sure you'll be right as rain if you just settle down and join me on Monday Matters right here on Gary's Stuff. Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today, indeed, is Monday Matters as usual. I'll be having a quick look at some of the news of the week that's captured my attention. I'll be catching up with what I've been up to on my bench, and of course I'll be discussing this week's featured kit of the week. All these bits come as chapters, you know, hop backwards and forwards as your heart desires. Now, if you'd like to support the channel at no cost to yourself, the best thing to do is to subscribe to it. If you then hit the bell as well, you'll be notified of all my future content as it is published. And of course, anything you see on my channel that you like, please give it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button below, because every like counts. And if you want to make a more concrete contribution to the channel, you can do that through any of my online partner programs, details of which are in the information box below. Okay, well, before we start, a couple of things. First of all, I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, but ICM is looking for suggestions for its range for 2025. Now, they've already got some things that they are definitely doing. They're doing the Tahi CH54-8 in 1/72 scale. They're doing a 1/48 scale Henschel 129, the one with the big gun underneath it, ground attack aircraft. And they've got a few other things they've already announced, thanks to a viewer suggestion of the Handley Page Hamden in 1/48, which is remarkable. They are looking for more suggestions of things you might like to see and you might like to buy. So what you need to do, there is a form to fill in online form. It's very, very simple online form. I've put the link to that in the information box down there. Follow that, click on that. You can do it all on through a web browser. They just need to know what the subject is, whether it's an aircraft or a vehicle or whatever it is. There's a category you can go through, what scale you'd like to see it in, and then there's a space for you to add some more information, like I'd like to see it with a set of crew figures, or I'd like to see it with this, or I'd like to see it with that, or these markings would be really cool, or just the rationale behind your opinions. Just give them some ideas. There's a few things on there. Now, the upshot of all of that is, if you're the first person to suggest something that actually does appear in the range next year, then not only will your name be in the ICM catalogue for that year as the person who came up with it, but you'll also get a free copy of the kit as well. So follow the link in the information box below, have fun, suggest what you really think. You can suggest anything you like, but do remember, if you actually genuinely think they should be making something, have a bit of thought about how many other people might actually want to build something. I know I've had some suggestions on here, and I thought, absolutely. So that's a great idea. So do think about it, give them some ideas, and you never know. You might be in next year's catalogue and you might be getting a free version of the kit as well. So you can say to everyone, I told them to make this, and they did. How cool is that? The next thing is, last Wednesday I did Sprue Talk with Airfix. Went down to Margate and we recorded an edition of Sprue Talk together. I thought it was going to be about D-Day. That's how we were briefed originally. But then Dale just changed his mind and said, do you know what, let's just make it about, you know, what inspired you to start, when did you start model making, what inspired you to do that, did you take a break from it, what inspired you to come back if you did take a break, and so on and so forth. Future directions for the hobby as well. Now, there was myself, there was Dale, there was Moz from Moz 6510, and of course there was Stuart from Airfix Model World magazine. So the four of us just sat around chewing the fat, basically. It was quite fun. I don't know how much of it they can actually use. I don't know how much of it people actually want to listen to, but I think it was quite good and quite interesting. Whilst we were there, we had a look around their showroom, and of course, there was the Shannon class lifeboat, which, of course, if you check out Mozzy's channel, he's already done a review of it from the kit that was in the showroom there. There was the Bulldogs, all three built models of the Bulldogs and both of the Chinooks. Now, from what I understand, The Shannon class lifeboat and the Bulldogs will come out towards the end of May or the very beginning of June. The Chinooks will be 2 or 3 weeks later than that, so mid to late June. All of this is dependent, of course, on shipping schedules for when this stuff gets here, because, of course, the Red Sea being essentially blocked, a lot of ships are going the long way around South Africa, and these ships can take all sorts of different amounts of time to get here. And then you've got customs and all the rest of it. You've heard all the problems they have before, and they're not then changing anyway. So the idea is, by the end of this month, Shannon class lifeboat and the Bulldog will be available, and then a few weeks after that will be the Chinook. I've got all of them on order, so when they pop up, I'll obviously share them with you. Talking about Airfix, they're in a bit of a quandary at the moment. What they're looking to do is somehow commemorate and recognise the enormous contribution that the artist Roy Cross made to them. Of course, Roy died very, very recently, one day after his 100th birthday, very sadly. Now, the problem they have is they want to do something that's respectful to Roy's artistry and his abilities and the work he did. It has to be, let's be honest, affordable these days. They're a commercial company, but what they really don't want to do is to be seen to be profiteering from it. So, it's a little difficult. The rights to books already belong to someone else, and you can make videos and all this. They've been talking about various things with Roy Cross's family. But if you've got any ideas, remember, respectful, affordable, but not profiteering, then let them know. I mean, maybe a montage wall at Wonderworks of box art that Roy did, something like that. I don't know. Don't let me know what you think. Well, yeah, you can let me know what you think, but also let Airfix, maybe marketing at airfix.com, just give them a nudge and say, hey, I just thought, why don't you do this? Why don't you have a go at that? That sort of thing. Let them know, because they do want to do something for it. Remember, Roy worked for them for about 11 years. It seems odd that he's so synonymous with Airfix box art in the early days as much as Adam Tooby is these days. The work's instantly recognisable. But he was only there for 10 years, I think 1963 to 1974, 75, it's about 11 years. I think his first kit that he did the box art for was the Dornier 217. And I think the last one was the 1/600th Prince Eugen battle cruiser, from memory. But I think because it was also the formative years of Airfix, the two got interlinked. Roy was a brilliant artist in so many other ways. His marine art is superb. If you have a look just do a search for Roy Cross artworks. The use of colour and sort of visual cues of transparency in water he did with his ship paintings was just exquisite. I mean, truly, truly wonderful. I've also been criticised once or twice, but for not having done a video about it myself. Now, two reasons for that. Firstly, of course, I have had very little time to do anything like that. I do videos that are really quick and simple and really don't take time and a lot of effort of editing to do. But also, because he was so much more than just an Airfix artist, just a box artist for Airfix. It's so much more than that. I don't think that I could get access to the work to give a fair assessment of his ability and his legacy as an artist. It would be relatively straightforward to just get lots of pictures of Airfix boxes, but a lot of his other art, it's all copyrighted. And you know what? For me, it would be a little odd to be ripping off the rights of someone who's just passed away, because those rights are there for 70 years from the end of this year, according to the Copyright Act. So, you don't want to be doing that. Basically, you don't want to be doing that anyway. So I can't make a proper job of it. And so that's why I won't do it, because I don't want to do anything half-hearted or half-baked to commemorate someone of that ability. And I'm sure Airfix will come up with something, maybe you guys will come up with something that will properly honour him and properly represent his legacy. So give it a thought. Okay, enough of all of that. Let's move on and have a look at the things I've noticed in the news of the week. A&A Models released pages from the Modelsvit Balkans catalogue recently with some interesting items. This year should see the Ilyushin 76 in 1/72nd scale coming to market, and next year the enormous Antonov AN-22, also in 1/72nd. Now that's going to be something with about 90 centimetres of span. There'll also be a 1/72nd scale XB42 Mixmaster this year, followed by an XB43 Jetmaster next year, and this year in 1/48th scale, 2 versions of the Messerschmitt Bf-109W floatplane. SOVA-M has this new 1/72nd scale kit of an AWACS version of the Embraer EMB-145. Based on the A model EMB-145 airliner kit, the SOVA-M plane shows how much you can dangle from an aircraft and it still flies. Tiger Model has 2 new egg kits out, the P-51 Mustang and the strangely named Focke-Wulf FW-190. For caricatures, the frames actually look quite detailed with prominent panel lining, so could make quite a nice little mojo builder. RESKIT is working on an interior cargo hold update for the OV-10 Bronco kits from ICM and from Kitty Hawk. These will be available in 1/72nd, 1/48th and 1/32nd scales. Amusing Hobby has this new 1/35th scale kit of the Soviet Object 640 tank, a stretched T-80U that never entered service and was replaced by the T-14 Armata, but an interesting tank nonetheless. Scaled RESINCRAFTS has some new models of other experimental armour, and as the name suggests, they are scaled, at this case in 1/72nd, and they are made of resin. There are French vehicles such as the Lorraine 40T with its pneumatic running wheels, the AMX 50-100, the Saumur SM, and the Canon Dassault Lorraine. There are also the Object 120 and the T100LT from Russia, the American AE Phase 1, and the Kranwagen from Sweden. LANMO Models has a range of printed materials in 1/35th scale for your World War II kit or diorama. I particularly like these combat maps and the Allied and German propaganda poster sets. Offshore now, and while the new Airfix Shannon-class lifeboat is ready for release at the end of the month, Airfix has announced a supplementary set of decals to cover all of the Shannon-class lifeboats in service. This means you can make a kit of your local lifeboat, one you support, or indeed even one that has actually rescued you. The decal set will be updated from time to time as new Shannon-class boats come into service. And finally, for the inner Trekkie, AMT has a special Allies and Adversaries set of Star Trek ships in 1/2,500th scale, featuring Cardassian, Klingon and Romulan ships, alongside 4 Federation starships. On my bench this week, well, I did an interview with Chris Parker-Joy when I was at Airfix on Wednesday and published the video as a result of that this week. Chris is the guy who designed the B-24 Liberator, so I had some questions about that kit in particular and about the design process in general. Chris, like most of the designers there, is very open, seems very honest, not at all corporate, and that's grand. It's really good to see. Always worth listening to them, so if you haven't caught it yet, do please have a listen. And of course, I also did the inbox review of the 1/24th scale Ford Model A Standard Phaeton, new kit from ICM. Lovely, lovely kit of a classic car, tons of detail, really, really nice kit to look at. And then, actually, speaking of ICM, it's time to talk about this week's featured kit of the week, and it's going to be the new Danger Mines set from ICM in 1/35th scale. Now this is a ZIL truck driver, some sapper figures, a sapper dog, and some mines that have been dug up, anti-tank mines that have been dug up. The mine clearance work in Ukraine is something that I suspect is going to go on for a very long time, and this kit celebrates the work of these people. So check that out tomorrow. It'll be an inbox review tomorrow. And there's some parts of the kit are outstanding, some parts are maybe a little bit old, but anyway, watch the video. It's fun, I promise you. There are some other review videos on the way during the week, and you never know, I might even get something finished on my build list. The Liberator is toddling along, but man, there are so many bits on the inside to do. There's a lot to do on the interior of this. It's beautifully detailed, but quite lengthy build on the inside. And there's other kits I've been working on as well. Hopefully, as I say, a few more build videos coming your way very soon. How will you know? Well, you can either check out the website every day, the YouTube channel every day, or best thing to do, make sure you've subscribed and then make sure you hit that bell. Then you'll get notified of everything I publish as it hits YouTube. And of course, anything you see on my channel you like, please do give it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button below, because every like counts. Thank you so very much for watching today. Hope to see you again on the channel soon. Take good care of yourself now, and goodbye.